Hello and welcome to the Spirit Hunters Podcast. I'm Lance White Eagle, and joining me today are
Monkey,
Hunter,
Lisa,
Shane.
And today we're going to be talking about our ghost hunt at the...
Simeon B. Robbins Miners Cabin.
Thank you, because I was about to say it the other way.
A.K.A. the Miner's Cabin.
Yeah.
In
Franklinville, New York.
New York, yep. Which we did a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
right? Shane, you want to talk about the Historical Society?
Well, first we'd like to thank Maggie and Bruce Fredrickson. They are the town and city historian for Franklinville. Excuse me. And we'd also like to thank the Intro Valley Historical Society for allowing us to be there. Great people, beautiful house, and we're looking to do several other locations with this group of people. Really fun place. Really cool place.
Yeah.
Beautiful 3-story Victorian house. 150 plus years old. I forgot the date already, and I just looked it up.
And built by Simeon Robbins for his second wife.
Simeon.
Second wife, Sarah.
Second wife, Sarah, built is quite grand, especially for Franklinville.
Yeah. It was a beautiful
mansion
house.
where they entertained people, had all kinds of gatherings and parties and such. And let's see what else we learned. We learned that Simeon made his money in the gold rush in Alaska.
Yep.
But then also had a bunch of different jobs using other names in other states.
He was somehow a judge.
The 1800s and that kind of
somehow
thing
a judge in another state under a different name.
North Dakota.
So
he
But
even worked
almost every
as
state.
a clerk in a pharmacy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he had a lot of different jobs. It was a little odd, we'll say. Well, we don't
Things
wanna,
like that happen. That you're like, yeah, sure, I'm a lawyer. You know,
I think
Are you
at
a
one
lawyer?
point he was
Today
a
I
police
am.
officer somewhere too.
police
Yeah.
officer somewhere in like Pennsylvania or something like that.
in other words, he was a hustler. He did what he had to do to make the money.
Yeah.
I would comfortable saying things like that.
Anyways.
Nothing wrong with
No.
a little charlatanry
Yeah.
back in the 1800s.
That's pretty common.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
We just jump right into how the activity we got.
Well, first we should say too that it was a beautiful old house. A 3-story Victorian house, like we said. So it had the true ballroom on the 3rd floor, a beautiful grand entrance, beautiful woodwork, and they had that place stuffed with area antiques that fit the time period. Very nice.
Really 4 stories, because that
It
crawl
was-
space,
Yeah.
when we
Oh,
boosted
yeah.
somebody to
It's
look up
definitely-
there, it's a full-size
Yeah.
floor. It's just not
Yeah.
being used.
Yeah, even taller than full size.
Yeah.
It's like 16 feet high on the
Yeah.
attic space.
Yeah.
Karen says she loves the historical pieces.
Thank you.
I think you guys noticed, right, that the windows were off because it's advertised as 3 floors.
Yeah, he
and then
noticed the
outside
front
is
one.
like
Yeah, you
I
go
was like-
outside and there's like a whole other set of windows that we definitely couldn't look out of.
And you can see a very faint light poking
Yeah.
through, which means, we couldn't see those ones. But then we saw ones that were slightly lower on the side of the house that were like, okay, that's this room.
And it's funny,
And
we
these ones
started
were
telling
higher.
the historians about that, right?
They didn't
and they're
even know.
like, well, you know what? Maybe we're going to have somebody check that out,
Yeah.
see if we can get some
Yeah.
kind of access to see what's
Yeah.
up there.
That's
You know?
that was where we pressed Chrissy up there.
Yeah.
We're like, Chrissy, here,
Get up there! It was really weird because as we were setting up, everybody, walkies are like the first thing we set up, we give out. Our walkies started getting some really strange interference. Like we were hearing people's voices, we were hearing, whispers.
Just select walking.
yeah, it'd only be on
Yeah,
certain
all
ones.
wasn't
certain
on all
ones.
of them.
And let me just preface this, because we're going to talk about this a little later on. When someone else is communicating through a walkie, you'll hear a chirp at the end of their talk.
Yeah, let you know that they like release
Almost,
the button
yeah.
and you can respond.
Almost all that interference that we got beforehand, none of that chirped at all.
Yeah.
If any of it.
Yeah, but like Shane said, the weirdest was like Monkey and I could be standing side by side.
Yeah.
My walkie,
Yeah.
and we have the exact same model and the exact same frequency.
Yeah.
Mine would go off and his would.
Yep.
Right.
And then the next time his would
instant-
go off.
Right.
Yeah.
His would go off and yours would.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we started to trying to interact and communicate with whomever may have been there. And we started to get some answers.
Well, before, we're still setting up. We get in the walkie thing, and Chrissy was doing a walkthrough with her friend remotely. She was
Yeah.
live streaming the house for
Yeah.
her friend in California. And Chrissy's upstairs. Me, Monkey, Tana, I think Hunter, we're in the main foyer, and we heard a voice from
and I was
upstairs.
also,
Yeah. Say hello,
like literally, hello.
and we were like,
Yeah.
like a little old lady.
yeah, and I think it
Frown.
was like Tana was like, well, that's got to be Chrissy messing around.
Yeah.
And then Chrissy comes
Go,
running
do,
down
do,
the
do,
stairs.
do.
Did
That-
you guys hear an old lady just say hello?
What? That wasn't you.
And it was clear.
It was clear. Yeah, we got it.
Hello?
I don't know.
We
It was
also
pretty
we
loud.
also heard that same hello come through the walkies at one point as well.
Two
It's
or
like
three
the
other
same-
times
The same
throughout the
voice,
night.
the same
Same-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
heard it in real time
Yeah,
and through the walkies on multiple occasions, and the spirit box once or twice too.
I do want to
Yeah.
preference this though. The first time we heard the hello, there was no chirp at all coming through the walkie.
Yeah.
We
it
did
wasn't-
notice-
I don't think it was through the walkie at all.
Well,
'Cause
the
it was
second
just
time-
echoing. The second time was, but that first time it just echoed down the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it sounded like an older woman would
Like a
call-
very elderly woman
would
who
call
was.
out if she thinks she hears somebody messing around in her house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
You
she's,
know,
you
like
know.
a questioning,
Somebody
It also would
here?
have been almost
Hello?
close to that one what they call it, the lover seat.
That
or
lover's
whatever.
little
Oh,
nook
lovers.
thing.
Yeah, little seat. There's a
Because
bay window.
she
there's
was
three
right. It
turrets.
was that was right between where she heard it and where we heard
the
it.
hook nook.
Yeah.
you call it?
The hook nook. That's a
There's
good
three
one.
turrets in this house. One of them, the center one, has the staircase going up and down in the front, and there's a little lover's nook there. Apparently, there was a sweet young couple some years ago that were
Did their courting there.
their courting there,
Because
yep.
that you couldn't be in that era. It would be uncouth for a young couple to be private somewhere in a room
Yeah.
or something. So
Right.
they courted on that bench, and then not too long ago, that woman came back. She was 95,
90 something.
and asked the historical society if she could just go and just sit there for a little while.
Yeah.
And she did sit there during the afternoon on the bench where she had her and her
She met
husband.
the love of her life.
Yeah,
Right.
and then she passed away a
Yeah.
few days later, I think
Yeah.
they said.
Yeah.
I just want to put this out there for the TikTok viewers and Facebook viewers. Feel free, if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to go ahead and comment them. We got 2 people moderating them. So if we don't get to your message, your comment or question right away, we'll get to it eventually. But yeah, feel free to join, follow us, link in bio for all of our socials. Yeah.
Yeah. And on that bench, still after we heard the hello,
Yep.
we ran up one of the cameras and set it right in front of that bench. And then when we were reviewing the footage, nobody's up there. And from where the bench is, from behind the camera, you hear somebody sigh. Yeah.
But it was the
Multiple
first one was a
times.
woman, right?
The first one was a woman and then a man right after. Like,
Well, we heard the one solo, and I think that was a woman. And then later on, not too long after, when someone came back through again, we hear 2 people sigh, a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it happened 2-3 times when the women were going up and down the
yeah,
steps.
Yeah.
Chrissy and Tana, I think, walked by the first time.
Yeah.
And they didn't even glance at the bench. And once they got upstairs, you hear from the
Yeah.
bench a male sigh like,
Yeah.
You know,
like,
like
they really
you didn't
didn't
even
notice
know
us
Sit right here,
again.
say hello.
and then
Yeah.
when they came back down the stairs, once they passed and didn't acknowledge it, you hear the same, you know,
Like, I'm so tired
yeah,
of these guys not
I'm
seeing
right
us.
here. Why are you ignoring
I'm
me?
making noises. I'm
Yeah.
setting this light off,
And then also
Oh.
setting up, you want to talk about the
The
video
light?
that you posted?
So, beginning of the investigation, we were turning off all the lights. Dad was turning off the hallway light. I was just going through some footage when I was uploading it and didn't even notice it until then. But when he had turned that light off, keep in mind, there's only the one switch. He walks down the stairs, and as soon as he gets downstairs, it popped right back on. And
Right,
then-
there's one switch. It's behind this picture board, and it's one of the old-fashioned push-button lights. And yeah, I go downstairs. Nobody's on the second floor. It's on camera. We posted it on TikTok. Please check it out.
Oh yeah.
Light comes on by itself and then turns off. Later, we find out that that's one of the claims that happens there a lot. The house is pretty much a museum, and on several occasions, the historians get calls from the police saying that someone reported lights being on the second floor, sometimes on the third floor.
Reporting seeing people through the windows walking around in there.
People standing in the window.
Just for the TikTok guys, we were just saying it's on there. You have to find it in our Spirit Hunters TikTok, which is in the link tree in my bio. So you click that, it'll show us through the TikTok, and you see all the videos that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
So
we should also
browse through.
Reshare that on the Facebook, so it's not buried down. In the
Well,
feed.
it's pinned at the very top.
We're going to also share
Yeah.
those on the YouTube channel too.
Yeah,
as
shorts.
Shorts. Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Shorts. Why not shirts? That you can buy online at our store.
Yeah, there you go. Also pinned at top of our Facebook, everything you guys can need, merchandise, whatever.
More items to come. We're just getting our feet wet. Seeing
Get
how it
yourself a
works.
mug.
If you do order and you have any issues, please let us know so we can get those corrected.
Yeah, there's some of them got like a little overprint, but it's nice.
So what else did we get there?
I mean, some of it wasn't end up paranormal, but some of the stuff that I captured in the attic with the walkie stuff.
Yeah,
That was
I
just
think you had
odd.
some teenagers messing with
Yeah,
you. Like,
so I get up there and I'm setting up the GoPro in the corner of the ballroom, and I hear this old woman that we heard earlier, hello, coming through the walkie. What?
I'm just laughing at you.
Oh, and I think I did that impersonation
good
pretty
old
good. Yeah, so I was like, okay, that's weird because it wasn't. I didn't hear the detail the first time when I was downstairs, just because my hearing's not the greatest.
well, listening to it on the playback,
Yeah,
it really sounded to me like your walkie went off,
yeah.
but the old woman's voice did not sound like it was coming through the walkie to me.
No,
It sounded like
separate.
it just went at the same time as the static, but that
Yeah,
she was just
probably.
in the attic.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yep. Just like,
And we should know too, Chrissy couldn't make it today, unfortunately, and Tana didn't want to be on it. But they had footsteps, stuff happening in the ballroom, and the spirit balls going off up there when they were doing, some kind of talk session up there. Later, Lisa and I also had the spirit ball going off while we were, and you could hear footsteps. It was really weird because there's a little stage up there, right? And we're sitting on it, and you can feel like somebody
Yeah, you
walking
can feel
behind you.
Yeah, the
It was,
vibration
yeah,
of
it
the
was a little
woods.
That was
uncomfortable.
on the room.
It's like
But
somebody
I logged
sneaking up
onto
behind you.
no, that makes-
Yeah.
And we did
that's
some
new.
sensory deprivation
It's
experiments up there.
Oh,
But
that's weird.
I think everybody who did the sensory deprivation on the spirit box sitting on the stage felt like you could just feel somebody walking around
right
on the-
beside you, yeah.
It's on the third floor. Back in the 50s and 60s, I think it was, they used it for school dances because they had like a one-room schoolhouse.
right.
And so when they had dances, they'd hold them in here. They built a little stage for a band to be on.
And the turret part, the center
Yeah.
turret
Yeah.
part. So there wasn't like there was anything above it. The attic space goes this way. Very odd to something be moving around behind you.
But so back to the attic part. So I get up there and I'm sitting there. I'm talking to this elderly woman, and all of a sudden I hear like what sounds like a younger woman with an accent, and I'm thinking, holy crap, I'm really getting something here. I'm getting all excited, I started asking her some questions. I was like, well, where are you from? And hoping that it is someone who's just not, and she was like Nigeria, but she had like an accent, so it kind of threw me off. And I'm thinking, well, what if it was like, a slave that used to be somewhere around here or something? I don't know. I hope that didn't sound the wrong way. But and I'm just asking a few more questions and stuff like that. And then, it didn't dawn on me at the time until after we went back and watched some of the footage that it was most likely, it sounded like it was just, kids messing around.
teenagers
But I guess
that
because I was so into it
picking
at the
up our
time, I
frequency.
didn't think about
Yeah.
it, Yeah, it was still either way. We heard the little older woman hello coming through, which we didn't come through the walkie the first time. We heard that in person. Yeah. But the fact that she was able to speak through the walkie as well, I thought that was pretty neat. So
well, we had Maggie and Bruce were sitting at the kitchen table, which they've had a lot of action there before. Maggie seems to really be in tune to the spirits in that house. They seem to interact well with her. So I gave her a K2 meter, and we put a REM pod on the table. And on a couple occasions, the REM pod went off, but the K2 meter, when she asked direct questions like, is this Sarah? Bing, 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 bing. There was another woman that lived there with a doctor afterwards. It turned into a doctor's office and now home. I forget her name. But she was also responding to her. So she had a good 45 minutes of complete interactions with the K2 meter.
I'm just fixing the camera. Go ahead. The one's turned.
And being able to have a discussion with these. We got all that on camera. That will also be on the our platform soon.
We also got her on camera. Was that her husband with her or just a coworker?
Yeah, Bruce was her husband. Yeah.
That she
No.
kept because he.
Yeah, it's good.
He's sitting there and he kept touching the REM pod, and she's like, "Will you just stop?"
Yeah. The REM pods are fun.
Yeah.
And he hadn't been around one before, so
Yeah.
he kept going. Beep.
Yeah.
We could hear from upstairs too. We're like, what is going
Well,
on?
at first I think we were watching the video. We
Yeah.
were like, "Is the REM pod going off?" And then we hear her, "Will you quit touching that?" We're like, "Oh nope, I guess
Oh,
not."
that's her. Yeah, so it's just it started off really active.
Mhm.
You want to tell them about our little
Oh,
games
you wanna get
upstairs?
That's the three of us and
Yeah.
Chrissy.
She was on the
whose
spirit box.
dog is sick, so give her good vibes to her little chihuahua.
We hope her puppy well.
Yeah.
And Chrissy, by the way, says she definitely felt someone walking around when she was blindfolded on the
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it was.
And while she was blindfolded on the platform, the three of us are sitting there and we're asking her questions. She's listening to the spirit box and she's got the headphones on so she can't hear us. She's blindfolded. And we had heard the kind of some of the brief life history of Mr. Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, like he was, a charlatan-y kind of guy and, like to try different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what, let's try something. So I got cards out of my pocket and I was like, we'll play poker.
Yes,
And
he
Chrissy
carries
has
them all
no
the time.
idea.
And yes, he does just carry a deck of cards with him everywhere.
Yeah. And we'll
come in
see
handy.
if he answers through the spirit box. So we dealt out a hand, a 5-card draw.
Yep.
And we went through, and exchanged cards, and we got to the empty hand that's just sitting there on the floor. And I was like, all right, like if you want some cards, let us know. And Chrissy hears, and like I said, she has no idea what we're doing. She's blindfolded. She can't hear us.
Spirit box on, yeah.
And she says, nothing.
Yeah.
So we
Like-
started teasing him. We were like, oh, bold move, Simeon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So then we show, and he had 2 pair and like a jack kicker.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You slide
I
dog.
wouldn't take anything on that either.
Yeah.
So we dealt out a couple
Another
more
hand,
hands,
yeah.
and he ended up winning 2 out of 3 hands. And
Yeah.
On the spirit, like
He won that
time
next
we came
hand
through,
in a row.
Yeah, I think she said a number.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, he can't say what to throw away, so we'll just put down 2 extra cards and figure it out,
Yeah.
and did well. So then we were like, all right, let's try some 3-card monte. Like this guy probably knows, you know?
Yeah.
So we got the 2 aces and the queen, and we, started throwing the monte down, and then was like putting our hands over the cards.
Tell
saying,
us, which one do
do
you
you
want
want
us to
this
stop on?
one? Do you want this one? And like the second time
Being
through,
slow, giving it a chance
Yeah.
to answer.
we're on, I think, the 3rd card, and Chrissy hears, and she relays it to us. She's there.
Yeah.
We flip it over as the queen. And we're like,
You.
okay. So after about
You
another
got me,
time
Simeon.
of that, he got that like 3 out of 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chrissy can't hear them or see what they're doing.
No.
Yeah, I know. Not to mention, not only was she blindfolded and headphones, she was facing the opposite direction of us.
Yeah, and it's dark.
Exactly. It's pitch
yeah.
black up there.
And after, so he won what 3
Three or
Yeah.
at
three
least
or 4 3-card monte throws, And then Chrissy took off the headphones. She's like, "Is this making any sense?"
We're like,
because all she's
yes!
hearing is, "She's there, that one, 2." You know,
Yeah.
she's like, "This makes no sense." And we were like, "No, it makes a lot of sense."
Go ahead, put it back on.
Yeah.
But then we did the shell game. You tried.
We did the
that.
shell game a little later, and he did not participate much in that
No.
because you can't win. Like the shell games, it's a fixed game.
Yeah.
Well, Chrissy ended up saying too.
Well,
Oh yeah.
that's what, because you guys were like, "Well, he doesn't seem to like this one," and that's when I was like, "Well, you can't really win the shell game."
Yeah.
And Hunter, I think you were like, "Wait, you're cheating," because both of you two were like, "Wait, how the was it under there?"
Yeah, I was
And you're
confused because I
you're
didn't know.
You're cheating, and I was like, "Well, yeah, that's how you play it." And as I say that, Chrissy hears over the spirit box in a woman's voice, "You scoundrel!"
Yeah. Just like.
So, like, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was-
Yeah.
It's nice to have interaction like that. Some of the other, we're gonna go back there, especially when it's warmer and we can be there a little longer. But they've had apparitions in there, especially in the main room. They got these really old, cool looking pianos in there. That I guess at some point somebody would every now and then hit one of the keys. But the place, the basement they had a big basement there too. I didn't get any real feeling out of the
No,
basement. Everything else, but you don't know. Obviously, I think some of it was Simeon, Sarah, and
There was
the
that
other
other
lady,
one.
that Dr. King's wife, that owned the house afterwards. But there's so many antiques there that are really ancient and cool looking.
Yeah.
Who knows what came along with for the ride? You know.
Now, Tana and Chrissy also got some spirit box. They were sitting on the hookup bench together.
Yeah.
I like how you call it the
hookup
hookup
He's
bench.
like that little hookup bench. He's trying to hide his smile.
And they had the cat ball sitting there, and they were asking questions and saying, "Light it up," and they were getting I do believe, a female who was relaying to them that she wishes it was more like a house.
More like how
that
it
she
used to
didn't
be.
necessarily like the display cases or the
Yeah.
antiques. Like she
Right.
missed it being a home.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they're going to make it back into a home, take a lot of those out, and make it look as historically correct as possible. Right now, some of the upstairs rooms, we've got a big knife display from one of their donors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps
They
going
got
out. I don't know why.
these huge
The one
cases
just looks
in
like
a
just
couple
like
of
an
the rooms.
office.
An office,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the historical society. Yeah.
They're going to take that out, and I think that's going to increase the activity too.
Yeah.
I think the comfort level
Yeah.
will change.
It popped in my head. I think it was me, you, and Tana, or maybe it was just me and you. We were in the attic and we heard like a girl's voice or something like that. Weren't we? We were at the top of the stairs.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but it just popped in my head. We were talking in the middle of it. We heard something, and then we radioed in. There was nobody up there. There's no one on the
Yeah,
floor
'cause
below
we were
us.
we were on the second floor, and we heard coming from the
No, we
attic?
were getting ready to go to the second floor. We were leaving the attic. Remember? It was
Okay,
when
yeah,
we were
yeah,
doing that
okay.
spirit box session in the beginning. But I don't remember exactly what we were talking about.
We went back and I think we got that on camera, didn't we? Like real faint, you hear
We
a
might
female
have.
voice say something while you guys are up there.
On the stairwell
Yeah, on the
camera.
stairwell
Yeah,
camera.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but whatever
Yeah.
we said, it caused a reaction, you know, and
That's another thing we had a REM pod in that hallway too, and that went off a couple times. You couldn't really hear it because it
No,
was
just
so
see
quick.
the-
You could
the
see the
light.
light
It
reflecting
went
off
off
the ceiling.
One time we were standing there.
Oh, yeah,
A
yeah.
group
You
of
were
us,
standing right
but we're
beside me.
standing there talking to each other, and it was so fast it didn't make a noise, but you just see on the camera it lights up.
yeah, you can see but yeah, we got some good stuff there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and we still
yeah,
have
Pope floor in the attic. I remember.
we're kind of backlogged on
Yeah. Hope.
video
Yeah, 'cause there
to
was-
review, and we still have some more to review on that, and we'll do all the updates online
Yeah.
when we can get to it.
You got Pope?
Yeah, I was laying on the floor in the attic when we were doing it because we were up there for a while, and I got bored.
Just
Not bored, but
Just
tired.
chilling.
A lot.
Yeah, and it was like on the back of my leg, I felt something just kind of pulled for a second, and made me look back, and
Yeah.
it was there.
we got like a bunch of little things
Yeah.
that happened that kind of just built up.
Just letting it, whatever
Well,
It
Just
just
letting
wanted
you know
to.
that it's there.
Yeah.
I think when Tana and Chrissy were up there too, it seemed like something might have been dancing. So didn't you and Chrissy dance up there a little bit?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did. We put on to try to encourage it. Yeah, put on some music and danced a little up
That's
there.
fine.
Yeah, and when she was playing the music too, when before you guys were dancing, they were getting activity with the cat ball and stuff. It seemed to really like the interaction.
My friend Tabitha from the Army said she loves the banner.
Oh,
thank you.
We just got those. Finally. They've been on order forever.
Mugs. I was actually talking to her today about them too. So, yeah.
See, did you guys get any other?
I'm sure we did. I'm just blanking out because it was several weeks ago.
Well, I know when Tana and Chrissy were sitting in that woo corner.
Yeah.
They were
the
getting
love corner.
sitting on top of the steps too.
Yeah, that's when it was kind
The
of telling them
jiggy
that
with it
it
corner.
missed the house layout.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that's what
that's when they were doing.
Yeah.
I think Monkey and I came by and we're like, "Are you two on the makeout bench?" And they were like, "Yeah," and we were like, "That's fine."
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't they get a lot of? Maybe we already talked about it. Did the spirit ball that was at the top of the stairs? Did we already
Yeah,
talk
that's
about
what
that?
we were just talking
Okay.
about. Yeah.
The only thing other than I really experienced personally there, besides you got a feeling in certain rooms, in the front, when you come through the front door to the left, it's this beautiful, I don't know, den of some sort.
Den, I would say.
And they have this really cool fireplace that has a split chimney, which is really unique to see.
It was the doctor's office.
Right.
Like that was his
That was his
personal room.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I
Got a
saw
lot of
a
antiques
shadow
in
go
there.
in there. I went in there and looked. I couldn't get anything to interact with me, but I saw something dark moving in there. But other than that, for me, I didn't have a lot personal stuff happen.
Yeah.
Except until right at the end, we were starting to get some good, interaction and talking with the cat ball and using it. And then we had to call it a night. But
Did any of you guys end up going in the basement?
Yeah,
I forgot to
I
mention the
spent a couple
basement. They had
times.
like a basement with like 12-foot ceilings.
Yeah, it was a
Have
big,
you guys
nice
ever seen a basement
Yeah.
with that many?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
and really good shape too.
Yeah, I
For
don't think.
a house that old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I went down there a couple
I went
times.
down there,
and
yeah,
didn't
like
get-
once or twice.
I went down there just to look
Anything.
around, but I didn't investigate because I completely forgot about it. But-
I did. I have one where solo. I was just sitting in the middle of the room, trying to get something. It was dark. I mean, it was black.
yeah.
We did a rod session down there too.
Oh yeah, we did.
We didn't get
Didn't
anything.
get much on the rod session. Did we do the rod session anywhere else in the house?
Yeah, up on the second floor. Remember the one guy? What was it? Like a brother or somebody to like Sarah, or maybe it was like a son or something.
Oh,
That kind of had us come out of the one room and go into what would have been a bedroom.
yeah. What was it? He said it was a. Yeah, it said a brother. I think he said. The. Oh, that's what it was. Simeon Robbins and Sarah, they had a child, but they also adopted a female child. It wasn't a regular adoption. They just got her from somewhere, and she ended up living with them, and that's what we were getting on her rods. I don't remember the most of that.
No, but they there was a closet, a locked closet. Remember, they kept trying us
Oh, they tried to
get
get
us
us to go into
to go into the closet, but it was locked.
In the
and we,
basement?
No, up in the
Up
second
on the
floor.
second floor.
But we
Oh.
couldn't.
in the middle of rooms.
We couldn't get in there because it was locked.
I didn't go in those either. I didn't even think about it.
I did for a little bit.
Not investigation.
We also got that real weird sound on camera when I was
Oh.
upstairs.
Can't we put that? That's funny. So we're watching this stairway camera, which is the one that's in
It's gonna go there.
the woo corner, and Lance is up there by himself in the first room.
Sometimes you forget there's a camera everywhere.
You hear a little.
It takes a while to get used to
yeah.
those cameras being on you all the time.
A little,
we had just-
actually, not even little. Quite a bit of flatulence, just going hard. And then, like seconds later, didn't you do it at the end of the hall when you went out
Yeah,
too?
well, we watched that video like twice before we figured before we were like,
Wait a minute.
I heard something rewind. What the hell is that?
And Lance is just
Let go and use by itself.
I think we had some fast food right before we, cheese.
something.
Was
Was not sitting with this stuff.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was. It was like Shane said there, we didn't stay too late because the Historical Society, this was their first time working with us, so they had a couple of people staying there, and I don't think they realized when Shane told them, "Oh, we're going to be there late." Like late to them was 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So come 11:30, they were like, "We got to go home."
We stayed pretty late. Yes, grandmother.
Hannah was touched on the back in the ballroom when you three were up there.
Oh,
That's
Hannah got
right.
touched
Well, she
too,
was.
yeah.
You were on the spirit box, weren't you? We were sitting on the floor. Yeah. I forgot. And then that's when
Where was
not
that
too long
at?
after.
Yeah, I think that was
right
the
after
third
that.
floor, yeah,
in
right
the
before
ballroom.
That's right, yeah.
Ballroom.
Yeah.
Ballroom seemed to be really pretty active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I,
did we
I
just-
forgot. I didn't know if I even knew that. That's pretty cool. So both of you guys got touched up there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were trying to confirm what I was hearing upstairs. They came up there with me, and then that's right after she got touched. That's when Monkey got poked.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like
No, it was just like
It was just yeah. It was
yeah, because I know when you got
Yeah.
when you got touched at the Mimic House, you weren't
no.
you were not cool with that.
No, I
And
was not
this
cool with
was
that
much-
one. Yeah,
that
no,
was
that
a
was a-
totally different vibe.
Yeah, it was more just like a
like
boop.
hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. Like or the older woman. trying to
Yeah.
get their attention.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
something,
I
yeah.
keep saying hello, nobody
And no one's-
answers me.
Yeah, like I'm gonna pull the poking you.
What are you doing in my house?
Yeah.
When we were kissing upstairs.
What's that?
Remember me and you were kissing.
Ooh, this is
Oh.
for after dark.
Hey, this is after dark.
There's a
You were
spirit.
upstairs with Chrissy and Lance, and you had kissed me, and one of them was on the spirit box, and I don't remember what it said. But it was something.
Oh, do you remember Chrissy? Tana said, I don't know if the
Oh,
mic
wow.
picking it up, that Monkey and Tana kissed and we got a response on the spirit box. Let's see if Chrissy chimes
Sarah's
in. I don't
watching.
remember that.
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Crystal Abers.
Crystal
Hi, Crystal!
Abers. Hello.
Oh, yay! The Cat County Department of Economic Development and Tourism.
She
Good
said
job.
no. I don't remember that.
Oh, we'll have to look on the video.
Yeah, because I do remember that. I just don't remember what it.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys are being scandalous up
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Scandalous.
In the middle of a,
We were-
creepy,
we were trying-
attic.
Is that why you were
Oh,
laying
let's
on the
do a
floor?
little
That's why you're. Yeah.
We were trying to get reactions.
Yeah.
That's all.
Old lady's trying to beat you with her cane, but it's not working.
Like, stop that. It doesn't belong here.
Hey, listen, you two, you go out there in the
Right.
turret,
You
sit
go-
and see.
you go on
There's a
bench.
spot for that. You go there.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was fun.
Just so you know, too, with Franklinville, we're looking at other sites: the Katie's Inn, the Katie's House, the McGill House.
Why you
What was
giving
that
all
other
stuff
mansion?
away?
Yeah, don't be giving our secrets away.
Oh, we're looking at other places.
But no, if you guys have anywhere locally in Western New York area that you know that you would like us to maybe take a look at, drop them in the comments.
And
or-
we're willing to go in. We could keep it private if you'd like. If you have something that you just want validation, we're there for you.
Yeah.
And we'll try to help you explain what's going on in your place. Now the Crystal's on here too. We got other locations, hopefully coming soon. I haven't told her yet. We're also going to have a bunch of locations coming up in Ellicottville. And we're going to combine these with the Cat County Department of Tourism. And maybe do some great things with the public. So stay tuned.
You got a question, producer?
Oh, there's a sign up on the camera. I'm trying to figure out what
It might just be the sign that someone joined or is watching currently.
it says. Time sensitive. KYGM today at 8:30.
Oh, Kentucky game.
Oh,
That's
oh,
all right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Good
so,
catch.
Is
So-
your calendar set?
Yeah. And we got any other experiences before we get
Karen
into questions?
Emerson says Gowanda Psychiatric Center Cemetery.
Oh, that,
You know what? That's not the first time somebody suggested that.
Yeah.
We would love to be able to do the hospital there too, because we hear there's a lot of stories about that hospital. But that's one of the ones that we're looking at. We have 5. We don't do a lot of cemeteries, but we have 5 that are in our area that we're looking at, and that's
We
one
do
of the
quite
ones.
a bit of few cemeteries.
Huh?
We do quite a
few.
We've done a
We
few.
did a few. Yeah.
Hey, listen,
I think they're a lot of fun too.
They are, yeah.
fun.
We get a lot of
Being
activity.
outside.
They're fun in the warm.
Yeah, in the warm weather, like summer.
Right.
summer.
Yeah.
I think you have to wait, make sure it's not raining. And,
I
you
think
know,
Mom actually did something years ago to go on the cemetery there, because that's one of the ones kind of like with the stone house where they just took these poor people and just dumped them there.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, no markers,
give them a number
no
plaque or
names.
just bury them and hide them all. You know, yeah, we definitely want to look at that place.
Ronnie says got plenty of places in California.
Well, I bet.
Fly on out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you want to fly us out there, Ronnie.
Yeah, you know,
we'll go.
That's Chris's
you're offering to
Yeah,
fly us. We'll
yeah.
go.
Yeah, Ronnie's the one who, over the live stream, has pointed out a couple of
Yeah,
places
a couple of
where
different
we
things.
got
Yeah,
actually some
I
pretty
get a
good
weird
stuff,
feeling
yeah.
about this window
Yeah.
or that corner. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, Ronnie.
Yeah.
And who
Yeah,
the
Ronnie's-
five
Ronnie's
people on
consistent.
TikTok
She's
and
at the investigations with us,
I don't
and
know
she's
how
at
many
That's right.
our podcast.
Gonna have
Says
to
five
send
and-
her a shirt.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Remind me. I'll send her a shirt. Get the address from Chrissy.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So you want to do some questions?
We can do some questions. There's more. I just can't think of the other stuff that happened.
Well, we have a lot of video to go over still.
Yeah,
That's
we
true.
still have some more video. We may even do an update podcast on this one because it was so recent that we haven't got to go through the 120 hours of stuff.
So you got to think just on that one phasm camera on the stairs. There's more that we had written down. See, we should have grabbed that notebook. We could read off of some of the stuff that we caught just watching the videos.
Well, we got a lot of sighs. We got a lot of
We've heard little bangs
Yeah,
and
footsteps and-
Oh yeah,
yeah.
a few footsteps.
Yeah.
I could have sworn we heard like a
At
couple
one
phrases
point we
or something
heard
too.
like furniture moving in the front bedroom on the second floor, which was
Oh, yeah,
weird
we did
because
hear
all that is a
something
giant
there, yeah.
case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a scraping. Yeah.
Pretty fun place.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask them some questions. Lance, I know you have some from previous
From the-
things.
Don't be
Storage.
afraid that you can ask anything you want. We're not judgmental people, but we'll do our best to give you a solid answer. So
Okay. Let's start with a fun one that I think we kind of answered in the last one in essence, but not exactly. Your funniest moment during an investigation.
during one,
Funniest moment.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a bunch of because we're kind
We
of
only have one
silly.
mic,
we
right?
we like to have fun.
what do you mean?
Just this one mic?
Yeah.
Because Karen says, is there another mic on somewhere?
No.
Mike? No.
So-
Why, are you hearing
Are you-
interference?
Are you hearing something, Karen? Something different? How much are the mugs? How much did we have these?
$11.
$11.
They haven't gone. I don't know if they're on in the store yet, but that's what they will be.
I will say though, they're actually really good quality. They
Yeah,
look nice,
they're
and they're
large.
tall mugs too.
Yeah,
much
They
hold
hold a lot more than you
Over
think.
12
Yeah.
ounces?
Yeah,
Here's my chapstick.
they're about 16 ounces because if it held it,
It's like
Yeah.
almost 2 chapsticks high.
We're a sign
There's a
over
picture.
here.
measurement.
Mark
Accurate
Blair
measurement.
said great deal, and he's the one that asked how much the cups were.
Yeah, they'll be on the.
Karen
I think,
Emerson says she's scared to tell. Do tell. This is the
Please,
place.
please, we love this stuff.
scared to tell.
She must have heard something.
I
Yeah,
heard something.
Your mom will
Oh, well,
love it, too.
Tana and Mom are sitting behind the camera.
yeah, that's true.
Female voices whispering.
Yeah,
So,
so-
y'all gotta knock it out that
Yeah, it could be them behind the camera.
Chrissy says, here's a question someone asked me the other day. Why do you think spirits stay in cemeteries? Why wouldn't they stay around where they lived / worked? Are they attached to their physical body?
I think in some cases, absolutely.
Possibility, yeah.
I think a lot of times it's because spirits they're not bound to any one place, except on very few
Yeah.
instances. I can't say the word. But sometimes they like to go
scared
where they've been
cat.
put to rest. I don't know why, but we get that a lot. Especially if there was something like the poor TB kids at Hen Coop.
Right.
You know, I think it was a traumatic death, horrible. Sometimes I've heard spirits follow. There's a lot of things out there about the number of days before a spirit, if they want to, moves on. With some native cultures it's 10 days, some it's 30 days,
Yeah.
some it's even 60 days.
Or
And
longer.
there's
It's
certain-
like time to them is irrelevant.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that we try to do as people not to keep those into one place, but depending on whatever their situation and their religious beliefs or non-beliefs, people
Yeah.
I think
hang
it
out.
could also have something to do with the focus of non-ghost people, like we talked about with like the Stanley Hotel in Colorado.
Yeah.
No reports of that being haunted until after The Shining came out.
Yeah.
Then people believed it was haunted. They went there. They focused their energy there.
It manifested.
So
There's
stuff
psychology.
came there.
Yeah,
and
psychology,
they
right.
had some proven, documented
Yep.
paranormal stuff there.
Yeah.
But
Because
it's
it developed from almost like a poltergeist.
Yeah, so I think at a cemetery too, you could have people coming there to talk to spirits,
And draw that.
so
what
that will
draws
draw
them in there.
them
Yeah.
to it.
Kato
Because
Stricker is
Well,
watching.
there's also you too.
Oh.
With, like a lot
Hey,
of
Katie.
Christians, it's consecrated ground. Maybe that's some place they still feel safe if they haven't moved on.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know.
Katie.
Katie is also watching
Yeah,
us.
Katie, who
Hi,
Hunter thought
Katie.
was a little girl ghost in the cemetery.
We love Katie. Katie makes us
Um,
laugh, and she has a really funny, infectious laugh.
Producer.
Mark Flyer wants to know, when were you the most scared cat?
The most scaredy cat.
Oh, we never answered the other one about the funny places either.
Yeah. we should- well, that can. I don't know if we've ever had many where we were actually like.
I had some.
Oh.
Like,
I will say it because y'all are gonna say it anyways. But the Bigfoot.
oh,
Oh yeah.
What was the name of that cemetery?
Guernsey
Guernsey
Hollow.
Hollow. Yeah.
we were looking for ghosts at Guernsey Hollow.
In Frewsburg,
Looking up
New York.
A lot of ghost stories there.
Yep.
We didn't get much of ghost stories, but we started getting tree knocks and big branches
Yeah,
breaking.
this whooping sound.
This
and this
really-
whoop,
Yeah.
weird noise.
Similar
and
to
it started
that.
Making Lisa
It's just
really
dad in the
nervous.
woods.
And Lisa's investigation was
Yeah,
done.
she was-
When
Lisa-
she sat down,
let
I
me-
just sat down, didn't move again. She's looking like this.
Let me put it off. Lisa is usually pretty stoic and is not
It's hard to
easily
scare her,
deterred.
yeah.
Lisa, after that, no, it's just like,
It's
I
Bigfoot.
did stay in that chair the rest of the.
Oh
yeah, she did.
She was
Right
like,
side
I'm
of the
here
bed.
for the
Okay.
ghost.
She didn't leave the boot. Yeah, it was funny.
Bigfoot is like 9 feet tall.
My
And
the
we're
only one
like
I think I
this.
really got uncomfortable
Stonehouse.
was at the Stonehouse. Yeah,
I
which
have a
we
similar
have
one.
on our first Spirit Hunters investigation video on our YouTube channel. If
Check
you
it
guys wanna
out.
Check it out.
Link in the
but-
bio for the TikTok
Yeah,
people.
when I was on the Spirit Box and you and Chrissy were in there and we were getting that doctor.
Yeah.
Like, I was not.
Yeah,
Tell them what
you
he
have-
said to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very commanding. I don't know, and I think I was picking up some on the vibes of just the feeling of that room.
Right,
and
and it's
the
a
people who would
poorhouse.
be
A
in
lot of-
there were
A
not.
lot of miserable
happy to
people
be
that
in
are
there.
forgotten
And
from your
I was
families
getting
in public.
jumpy. I was turning on my flashlight
Yeah.
behind me and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I know Monkey's one.
yeah.
The Dudley one, where you ran into that.
I don't know if that was
No, I
that
wouldn't.
scary.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be. That's just the most scared. I
And-
wasn't saying he's.
No,
And Chrissy says, when Monkey got scared and ran at Lilydale and I got startled and ran with him.
yeah.
that was
That
pretty
was
good.
funny.
That was good.
That wasn't for paranormal.
No, that was just.
That was
that
just,
was-
that was
Okay,
uneven
so
flooring.
it's a hotel, right? So Chrissy's
a very old one.
looking in these rooms, and I went over to look with her. And so she looks in this room. I come over, and all of a sudden, like the door's open when I walk over there. All of a sudden, it slowly starts shutting towards us. So I peace out, man. I leave Chrissy to die. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Because
Yeah,
Chrissy
when Monkey
jumped and it
runs,
caused
like,
Monkey
Monkey
to jump.
Yeah.
Don't
And
be
then,
in front of Monkey when he gets scared because he's going to trample you.
I will.
Oh, the
And
best
then, yeah, it was just the uneven floor. She opened the door right before I came around.
Yeah,
It
and
was
it
just
started
closing by
slowly
itself.
closing.
all you see though.
Yeah,
is
I'll
it's
say it's
just
the closing door
Yeah.
towards us. And,
the one we got also on the Spirit, the Stonehouse one. Chrissy actually screams when I'm on the Spirit Box. There's black in there, and you came in.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I didn't notice you, so I kind of started a little bit. But when I started, Chrissy just screamed.
yeah,
Yeah, some of our scariest moments are when we scare ourselves.
yeah.
yeah.
At the Mimic House, Lisa scared the crap out of Lance.
It's because she's
And you know
like
what? I have that on
ninja.
video. I'm going to post that pretty soon. You guys
Yeah.
are going to kick it.
we're standing in a circle talking.
Yeah.
Us
And
guys,
it's
right
pitch
here,
black.
and
yeah.
it's pitch black, and like, I think it was actually like this.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Monkey, and I talk to Hunter, and then I look back to Monkey, and there's suddenly a person between us.
He's like,
no
"Oh!"
sound coming up, just, And watching the video, Lisa's like, it's not on purpose.
No, she's
Watching
just
the
there.
video,
I
she's
came
20
down the
feet-
basement stairs, and you guys
She's
did not.
20 feet away, standing there, and then takes like 3 little steps.
Lisa
3
comes
little
down the
steps,
basement
and then just
stairs.
gets into the circle.
She came down the stairs on her tiptoes and then walks up a little bit, waits for everyone to not notice, walks a little further. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
acts like
that's
she
right.
didn't
Like,
do it.
I freaking
Yeah,
jumped. I gotta go look back.
And you went down, too. You were like,
Yeah.
Okay, and then what about at the Stonehouse in the basement?
That was not fair though, because I had already gotten creeped out by the freaking
By the
spirit
thing.
box.
I didn't know that.
And Lisa didn't even know, and she's in the room down the hall, and I come walking down, and she's like, and
right.
like,
In a room where they used to shackle
yeah,
poor patients.
I try to play it off as cool, but
Yeah, until
on
he
the
was
footage-
like, "Hey, when are you guys
I
going to
just-
this
yeah,
room?"
I wasn't gonna go in. I was like, "Hey, you guys want to grab that out of there?"
Just set them right up.
Keep
Yeah.
in mind, he's my uncle. I'm the younger one. Did not
Hey,
let him
that
set me in.
doctor thing that made me. I was like,
I get that because I had a similar feeling at the Mimic House when So I was on the spirit box in this chair, and something, whatever it was, kept wanting me to lean back, and every time I moved a little further back, all the way back, like just telling me to. And I'm like, in my head, because I think about weird stuff. I'm thinking this thing wanted to like cut my throat or something.
I do
Not
think-
that it scared me, but
I
it was
also
like
think
The
that-
atmosphere was.
Yeah.
it was a very
was
yeah.
negative.
You guys got to watch that video.
Yeah.
It's on our Facebook and YouTube. Link in the bio on TikTok, Facebook. You guys already are there.
Yeah, I think also that whatever entity is communicating with you, you
Yeah.
know, you pick up, just like when you're talking to somebody, you can pick up negative
Yeah.
intention, you know.
Absolutely.
I didn't show it. Obviously, I didn't say anything about it until we were either outside or we were gone because I didn't, want to give this thing the attention
And in the
and
Mimic
power
House,
that
we
it
had a
wanted.
lot of activity from a shadow figure forming in front of the
There's
camera.
a reason we call it the Mimic
loud
House.
bangs and scrapes.
Yeah.
And,
I think I think
interaction
for
with all of
most
our
us,
devices.
The Mimic House was probably our,
Um,
like Tana got.
Right.
We have on video Tana like if she's on the spirit box. She just says, "I can't do
No,
this."
and
Yeah.
comes
I
upstairs
can't,
and
you
it's
know,
like, oh,
yeah.
I'm out of here.
You
that's
did
the
not
one,
have
yeah.
a good experience on the spirit
No, I did
box
not.
there.
Well, there was
Well, it was mimicking our own voices to us.
Well, don't forget when
That's creepy.
Tana was on it and she heard something. It was like, you heard like your husband's voice or
Yeah,
something. And you're like,
Justin
I need to go
calling
check on my husband. And you walk
Yeah,
off and,
she's like, nope.
something was wrong. Whatever
Yeah.
this was, there's a reason we called it the Mimic House.
Yeah.
Something would like to mimic
Yeah.
people's voices
That
to
one,
their
I
significant
think
other.
freaked out
Yeah.
most of the people. Just
It
the fact that it's like somebody
gives
you
you-
know.
It makes you
calling
think
you
about
out.
things that you
Yeah.
wouldn't probably ever think about, like getting my throat cut by a ghost.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like, yeah.
Jeannie thinks she knows me. Jeannie says about me, she will yell at little ghost girl to go away in the middle of the night, but big hairy animals, Lisa is scared.
Yeah.
That's your
Thanks,
work friend?
Jeannie.
Which Jeannie is that?
Jeannie Jean.
Oh. That little ghost girl. Ew. We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
That one is
That's-
a really dark
I mean,
place.
we might save that for our ghost stories part 2
Oh, yeah.
coming. I think we should hold off on that one
If
for
we
a while.
do that one,
maybe like,
we're going to do it
like
outside the
Halloween
house.
time.
That's going to be
yeah,
a
that'd be
remote,
good.
Yeah,
remote
this-
location because we don't want nothing coming back
We don't.
here.
Yeah, this is not
It's
the
gone.
typical ghost story you're
Yeah.
probably used to hearing.
Lisa says it's fine.
It's
This is
gone.
definitely something that we won't talk about in our
Yeah.
house because we don't want it, like they said, to attract anything.
I think though.
So
with
you
that
guys,
last
if there's
question,
something you guys are going to want to watch,
Yeah.
it's that one.
I think we actually answered both our scariest and funniest.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
because it's also pretty fun to
Yeah.
see somebody get
Yeah.
Well,
jumpy.
and like Lisa and Hunter posted on TikTok where you guys are looking up into that attic and you guys are trying to lift up.
We're trying to
Lexi
hold
through the
Lance
attic,
up
there.
and then
Yeah.
right behind you
Yeah.
is a stool to stand on.
we were like, that blew up on TikTok, by the way.
Well, it was also pretty funny at Simeon Robbins when I was trying to put Chrissy in the attic, so I put her on my shoulders, and then in my head, because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna press you up. She's like, okay, and I was like, dude, I am strong. I didn't even realize she's pulling. She's doing a pull up, and I'm like, hell yeah,
Let's go.
And I glance up, she's holding on. And I was like, never mind. Another really good one was at Hen Coop. when Shane's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he walks away from us, away from the cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Steps in front of my car, starts peeing, and then he comes back, and I'm like, Chrissy's in the car. Right? He's like,
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
If she saw that, she was just too uncomfortable. Didn't want to say nothing
she was laying down. Like when I went and opened the door,
I hope
she
that's
was
true
like,
because I was so embarrassed. I was mortified.
Yeah.
Okay, got a question. Mark says, any famous ghost?
that we've come across.
Famous ghosts.
Casper.
Casper.
The friendly ghost.
I don't know if we've personally come across.
I don't think any famous ones. Now, we got some
We've had
potential
ones.
locations coming up with, some famous people, but I can't announce those yet because we haven't.
Well,
We've had ones that were had
Robbins
ties
was
to their own
famous.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Simeon.
Simeon Robbins was
Pop-
pretty famous. Yeah,
We're almost 100% sure that was him we were talking to. If that counts, then
Yeah.
Well, Bigfoot. Bigfoot's
Yeah.
pretty famous.
But yeah, Bigfoot.
Bigfoot
But
almost
it's
made
not a
me famous.
ghost.
That's true.
Yeah. But no. Necessarily.
No celebrities.
No celebrity.
No
ghosts
celebrities,
yet.
not yet anyway.
Listen.
We should announce too that with Ryan Cavallini with Legend Hunters Films, we're going to be doing a group investigation at the Crescent Insane Asylum and Prison. Coming what was it, May or
I look forward to that.
Hopefully when it's
April or
warm.
May?
Yeah, hopefully when it's
We're
warm.
going to be doing that. That place, very creepy, huge facility. And we have a couple other ones like that we can't announce yet that we're working on that are very similar. Lots of deaths, a lot of violence. So we'll see.
It'll be fun. I
Yeah.
look forward to that one.
Oh,
We actually
that's
good.
we
Yeah.
saw that one on TV the one night, and we're like, oh, we gotta check this place out. And then like the next day when Mark and them came over, they mentioned it. We're like, okay, that's a little odd timing. You know?
Hey, we're so excited. We're going to buy like an extra 6 cameras just so we can.
You and I, in high school, we went to, in Frederick, Maryland, we went
Oh,
to,
yeah.
supposedly, like, the William Peter Blatty, who wrote The Exorcist, went to school in Frederick. And supposedly he got the idea, some of the roots for the novel The Exorcist, because in Frederick at the time he was going to school, he went to a Jesuit college there.
Yeah.
They performed an exorcism on a little boy in town.
Yeah.
That did not necessarily go well. So we went to
Yeah,
that
we
spot because the house burnt down, and now it's a park.
Yeah, they said,
it's on Linktree.
we went to that spot, and they said they tried to build a couple different houses on that, and they just kept burning down or
burning
something
down.
happened to them. So now it's a playground next to school, which is fun for the kids.
So we climbed the fence and went into
Yeah.
the playground and sat. The only thing that they even the playground burned.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
built a playground there, burned down, so there's just a stone bench there. So he and I went and we sat on the bench for a minute, and like it just felt
Yeah.
gross. It was like, yeah, is that enough for you? Monkey's like, yeah, I think so. like,
And
okay.
while we were down there, we went to where they filmed parts of The Exorcist.
Yeah, we did a whole exorcist tour through.
So we found
That'd be fun.
like the stairs, and then you almost died on the
I
stairs.
almost became a ghost on the exorcist stairs.
That was pretty
Because like
hilarious.
they're steep,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Really?
And my stupid like 16-year-old butt was like, I'm gonna slide down this railing.
Oh my god.
So I started to, and then you just got too much momentum,
Yeah, just-
and I was like, in my brain, I'm like, okay, if I jump off, I'm gonna keep going.
Yep.
If I stay on, like I'm just gonna fly into the road. So Monkey, I didn't even notice.
Monkey
going
just
by.
saved
Just
your
saved
life.
me.
Yeah,
I
just
grabbed
tried
him by
to
the
pull him
I
out.
believe I got you, homie.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah, because we found because the stairs in the house, and then what do we like? They put two houses together to make it like so, because the house that was by the stairs didn't have the one wing coming close to the stairs.
Yeah.
But then we're looking, and there was another house that looked like almost that whole wing
Yeah, I
in the
think
movie.
they filmed like
Yeah.
because the actual house doesn't have that wing that goes right to the stairs.
Oh,
it's
it
way far back.
Yeah, yeah. So
right.
it's like
And these people who bought it, who's just the private people, put up this big old privacy fence because I'm sure they're sick of people coming and trying
Yeah,
to.
coming and looking.
Yeah.
So, not the teenagers. Who do you think we turn around and is climbing that fence trying to scope out these people's property?
Our mother?
Your
Yeah.
our mother, your grandmother, is up there. Like, what are you doing? And she's like, I just want to see it.
She's behind the camera right now.
We're
I
gonna
could.
go to jail.
It's
That was
I
a lot
can't
of
even
fun.
imagine her doing that.
Yeah, oh, I can imagine.
I'm glad we got
But,
to go there.
that was kind of a
Yeah.
famous
Got
ghost,
something for us,
Yeah.
I
Grandma?
guess.
made me get down.
Yeah.
Mark says infamous, and I think you just answered that. with-
Infamous. Yeah, the Exorcist. The
With the
ghost of the
Exorcist
Exorcist is
house.
based on pretty famous ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had ghost experiences at St. Augustine. That's pretty famous haunting place.
Yeah, at the lighthouse.
Yeah. But we haven't really gone much of anywhere where it's like, oh,
Well, Al Capone was at the
We
Dudley.
do go
Yeah.
when we do ours. First of all, a lot of people they think they got to go, all of these famous spots. There are so many places just in your area with a history that you can, experience. And
Hidden gems.
We like going to places
Yeah.
that haven't been investigated before.
I mean, the Mimic House was probably
Oh.
our most
Yeah.
active place, and that was not on a
It's just-
radar at all.
it's just
no,
a
nobody's
little-
in a farmhouse
a
in the
little
middle of
tiny
nowhere.
farmhouse, yeah, in the middle of.
Yeah, the owner was like, "Oh, we've had some stories. You guys want to come here?" And
We're like,
"Yeah,
Yeah, we'll give
I
it a
bet
shot.
We're not gonna
Yeah,
get anything."
yeah, I don't think any of us thought we were gonna get
Yeah, we were like, "Okay."
crap.
Yeah, it was a filler between a couple other
Yeah.
investigations. We're like, yeah, let's go in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, it turned out to be one of our funnest places.
Yep.
I know that the spirit through the rods. I was arguing with them.
At the Mimic House.
Yeah, because they were trying to get me to leave the property. Remember, they wanted me to go
Oh,
across the street in the
yeah.
big old empty field with like all these other, and I'm just like, I can't.
Like,
And they just kept going, whoop, and I'm like, no, I'm not going. Whoop, nope. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm putting you away.
yeah.
It's like dad
It
with
was
the
weird,
hand on the
creepy
wall.
feeling, and we see weird things moving. You hear like large things moving, and you saw something run behind a stump, even outside. And it's
Oh
like-
yeah, that's right. I saw something just run behind the tree in the yard.
Was it a chicken?
Really?
No,
No.
a man. And I thought somebody was
Back
coming
by
up
like
on
where
us.
the tracks were?
And sometimes you gotta
On
watch because
someone-
people
Like
will
from
sneak
the
up on you.
tracks, there was that big tree in the yard. Like the tracks
Oh,
were back here.
yeah.
It looked like it came from the tracks and just
Oh,
like
yeah.
a dude just ran behind
Just
that tree
hit
and
it.
stopped.
Remember, he
Yeah.
mentioned it. We all went.
We went
looking
over
at
there.
it.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Because
And it was
sometimes
clear.
deserted
Yeah.
locations like that, we do come. You gotta be careful who you
Yeah.
can come
Yeah.
across.
Yeah.
It's live
hobos.
people are sometimes more
Hobos.
scary.
But
What do we got for
we got at least one or two more. If we
Yeah. Do we got any more on there?
No.
Let's see. Do we worry about stirring up negative energy or spirits?
We're careful not to do that.
It does.
And we're also very careful, like, you don't have to stay here, but you can't come home with me.
Yeah.
You gotta set your boundaries. We are a very respectful group unless something really negative starts, even then we try to do it as a positive
Hunter
as you
me?
can possibly
Listen.
be.
I got called out by a ghost
Yeah.
who wanted to throw hands, but he didn't have a body.
Yeah.
So it just made me look like a chump.
Now,
You look like a
I
bitch.
Like a bitch, barely, yeah.
I would say, like,
Excuse our language. That's what he actually called me.
I would assume if you have any, like, ghost hunting group, say it's your personal house, you're probably going to have a little more activity for a few days,
Yeah.
because
You're
the
stirring things up.
ghosts are all jazzed up.
Well,
But
because
we
they're
don't try
actually
to
getting
interact
what
with
they're, a lot of them
anything
are looking
negative.
for. They're getting attention. Right?
Yeah.
They're trying to get their voice out there. A lot of times they're there for a reason, right?
Mhm.
It's not just because they love the place.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just because they get aggravated. It's a
Yeah.
crotchety old man up in the corner,
Yeah.
and now you're invading his space.
Yeah.
And in those cases, something says get out, we'll leave that room.
Yeah. And we don't typically do, like, if somebody was like, oh, I got a demon here, we'd be like, no.
No, and we get those calls, and we get
Yeah.
the messages, and we get people that, no, I'm a, such and such black witch. Oh, no, no offense to any of those people,
Yeah.
but that's not how we
Yeah.
we do things. We do things in light
Yeah.
and in a positive way.
Karen says, out of curiosity, is there any place you know to be haunted, but you wouldn't go?
The Dandy House. Hinsdale House.
I want to go
Well,
there, though.
I've heard too many odd stories.
We
I-
were going to not do the Dandy House. We hadn't done
still
it for
not.
a long time because of
I'm good. I don't want a demon following
supposedly,
me.
we thought that there was a native massacre, but it wasn't actually on that property.
No.
It was down the road a bit, about a half a mile, where 812 Senecas were killed. So we weren't going to do that because we didn't want to disrespect our ancestors. but then we found out later, even though it sits very close to one of their burial grounds, between two of them.
And I honestly think the darker stuff that was there, like Christy and I have talked about this a lot, came with or was attached to the family that had the big problems there.
There was
The
we should
couple,
say
or the
there
one
was
before them.
The one
Well,
before.
we got to watch what we say about the Dandy House because that's Dan Class's place, and we have to,
Yeah.
he
Oh,
has,
and it's got stuff.
No,
but
yeah,
I
it's
think
a
the
cool
real
place.
dark thing was with the people.
Not
who
to
had
mention
the-
about the stories
It
of
was-
the witches in the woods. I don't.
But I think also that's not how a lot of people explain. Okay, like if
Well,
you're
I can
not,
tell you this for
if
a
you're
fact.
not a nut job like this group here,
Yeah.
and you see like a female shape moving in the woods, like you're gonna be like, oh, there's some kind of witch.
Well, here's the
especially
thing.
In that
So
era.
remember, I was a couple of years ago now. I went up there with Matt and two other people.
I don't think we can talk about that on the podcast.
yeah.
I don't want to know what you did in the dark. With two other people.
No, we get up there. We didn't. We were going to walk up there until we realized that there was signs, no trespassing, whatever.
Yeah.
But we could hear multiple females screaming in those woods. And it wasn't just me that heard it. It was Matt and I originally.
It's all right, buddy.
And then we asked.
I'll protect you when we go.
Let's say too.
Well, then we asked. Hold on, real quick. We asked the women that were with us because they were too afraid to even get out of the truck. So we opened the door. We're like, "Can you guys hear this?" And they heard it too. It was just kept on going.
Maybe another group beat you too. Whatever you were gonna do up there.
All right, we should say too. We were
Spirit after dark in our
we
league.
did a little thing with a historian, Michael, who used to work with Father Al from St. Bonaventure. A lot of you guys know who that is. Very famous exorcist. He showed us some of the things going on there. There was a stagecoach owner that lived in that house. Him and two brothers that were murdering women that were riding the stagecoach by themselves.
Quite a few men too.
And,
They murdered and
but
robbed.
mostly
Yeah.
women
Yeah.
and robbing them and whatever. So that's some of the connection to that house. And then there's the fact that it is very close to two burial
And
sites.
also another place where you have people coming focused on that,
Yeah.
bringing
Right.
things. But like I said, I don't necessarily know about the demon aspect.
Well, like I
so
said,
much
like
as
what
that
you were talking
attached
about
to it.
earlier.
Demon, I don't know, and that's how people perceive things. We don't know
That's
that
true.
person and
Right,
how.
well,
what
here's the
kind
thing,
of,
like what you were saying earlier, when people start talking about a certain thing and going there expecting this,
Yeah.
it can draw certain things to them.
Yeah.
Our
you know.
minds are very powerful. We have we all have psychic ability, and it's not just being able to sense things; it's being able to put stuff out there.
Yeah.
And we get, one of the things we have to try to be careful about.
But we do in general. We try to go to less, like everything. Everybody's already done stuff at the Dandy House. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like most of the places we hit are places that are
But
not quite.
Our
as,
group is also tends to be a little more sensitive than most. So if certain people
quit hurting our feelings.
I know, right?
hurt your feelings,
Sensitive.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Making fun of me.
No, we can be way. And there's other stories about the Dandy House. The woods, there's a lot of stories about
Yeah.
the woods that I think are kind of cool. And there was also a road behind there, not the main stagecoach that is attached to that driveway. There's another road back there where
What
some
was
years
the
ago, I think in the 70s, they found a corpse hole of a woman.
is there a house or a place that we wouldn't go to?
Oh, that
I'm just
we
saying.
wouldn't go to.
I'll go if you can confirm that there's no demons.
Yeah, like I said, we wouldn't go to a place that's supposedly like, oh, they held black masses here and summoned,
And
Pazuzu.
Which-
Like, no, thank you. Like,
We're gonna
pass.
sit that
Hard-
one out.
hard
Heads-
pass on
heads on
Pazuzu.
I'll take a sideline
Yeah.
seat at that show.
Like, if we come, you turn on the spirit box and it's like, we are Legion. Like, I'm going home.
Yeah, and we are
Pack up
leaving.
the boo.
We don't go.
saying,
If it comes to a demonic
You're
kind
a
of
legion.
spirit, we're not too arrogant to think that we can control all that.
Yeah.
Even though we know some stuff, we're still going to give it the respect it deserves and leave it alone.
Yeah.
No, first you wouldn't even go there if you're taking me.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do run into things that we aren't expecting at places, and then we have to deal with them on the spot.
Yeah.
But in general, we don't go looking for
Karen
know,
says witches in the woods are
something
so
we can't
scary.
handle.
listen, any woman in the woods who's
Witches.
screaming.
Karen says witches
That's
in
what I'm
the
just
woods
saying.
are so scary.
Any
Isn't
woman,
it? Yeah.
whether it's a witch or not, that's in the woods by herself, screaming, just for shits and gigs. I'm good.
Huh?
I played Red Dead with them.
Yeah.
Save you.
We got time for maybe one more if it's a quick one.
Yeah, we got any on the online?
And do you guys want to be our last question? Do we have any else?
Well, we could do. I think this is. We might have already covered, but we can do outside of Spirit Hunters. Most haunted place you've been.
South Korea barracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of?
Not the ones that I lived in, but the ones that I stayed in when we went to the field, and then when I went to combatives, because that just
And that was very close to the North Korea border.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
demilitarized zone.
DMZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't. It was more of just like, because we already heard stories before we even got there from previous people who went there for the field and whatever else. What?
That's that I got to use the restroom.
I think
Oh.
that Mike picked that up.
Okay, we got a question though.
But yeah, no, we just real quick. We just saw there were stories that people would hear things, we would see things. We heard moaning in the hallway outside of my door, and then what sound not knocking on my door, but like on the wall leading up to my door. But yeah,
And I looked at pictures of those places. They look like old prison
oh,
cells.
they're from the 40s.
Like torture
yeah,
chambers.
they're horrible.
Okay, so Tabitha asks, what's y'all favorite part about spirit hunting?
I think
Being with the
the
family.
communion.
Yeah.
We really like being able to
Oh.
hang out together
Yeah.
and be able to talk to other peoples that are, snacks.
I was deployed with Tabitha.
Oh,
Lots of
nice.
snacks.
Snacks and coffee.
Yeah,
Coffee.
snacks and coffee.
Always big on the
But
Smokes.
let's go ahead and answer the other scariest places.
most haunted. You got a most haunted place you've been, Monk?
Amanda's house.
Yeah.
There's like Monk
We
is
don't
like
talk about
Shane's house.
Which one though?
All.
Grandmother's Penn Avenue basement.
I wasn't scared out with that one.
I think monkeys would probably have to be that place in Ohio.
I was a kid.
Yeah, the
That
place
was-
in Ohio.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much activity in a short period of time.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
If you want more information on that, watch our Ghost Stories podcast on our YouTube channel right now.
I know. Yeah.
My most haunted place would probably be on the Cherokee reservation, but I can't say where.
Just
Sorry.
the whole in general.
Well, no, the specific place
Yeah.
that we were
Places you're not
supposed to be and warned not to
around
be,
it.
but we
Yeah.
kept going there anyway
Mhm.
and had experiences.
Yeah.
Lisa, how about you?
There's too many.
Yeah.
Yeah, name
the
one
house
that
you
just
grew up in.
stands out.
Probably,
Probably the
Yeah.
house on Ridge Road.
The
So
one where you
much
got a
happened
portal
there.
in your room, your closet or
Get
whatever.
involved with so many different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Well.
you, Lance Clever?
I don't know. Like most of the time, you hear haunted, it has a negative connotation, but I don't think it always has
Yeah,
to
no.
be. But I'd also say a certain spot in Cherokee that I was the most active spiritually.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, I wish we could. Well, we
yeah,
probably could. You gotta just be careful what
But
you're saying.
probably like St. Augustine. I was little, but we went there and just as a little guy, like you go in and you're just like the whole feeling is just like I don't
Just
want
down,
to be
yeah.
here. Yeah, there's a fort in Florida and they used it to mostly native peoples chain them up, torture them. The cells that they kept them in were like 3.5, 4 feet tall, so they wouldn't be able to stand up all the way.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
You know, and it was miserable.
Listen, sometimes you have to stand up. you
Yeah.
know,
Well, that
it's-
was the thing, and they
it's just
keep them
torture.
in there for years.
Yeah, that'd be,
You know, but you just walk in that place and it's oppressive.
I've heard moaning in the cells and there.
yeah.
Yeah. Look on his face when he was going off camera. He was.
Well, I think there
Tell
will
them to get out. Well, we gotta wait for Shaney. Let's do.
go ahead.
Just go ahead.
What? Do we have any more questions? I'm trying to.
Yeah, we're about
hour and 10 minutes.
Hour 10. Yeah, so we can wrap it up, I suppose. For you guys, if you want more of our personal ghost stories, go to our Spirit Hunters Incorporated YouTube page. We have a podcast episode just on that, where we have Chrissy, us and Chrissy, I do believe, sharing some of our personal pre-Spirit Hunters ghost stories.
Yep. Check out our website, spirithunters.group. If you look at one of our top pinned Facebook posts is the store, our online store. Feel free to check that out. I know
link trees there too.
The link tree to all of our social medias on there. The store, we are getting more things added to it. Mugs. Well, I think the mugs might already be. If they're not on there, they will be soon. We are getting, a bunch of different other stuff, so feel free to check that out. Well, now that he's back, we can finish off the outro.
Sorry, Ghost made me go to the bathroom.
Yeah. And for when this is on YouTube, and for you guys watching, go and we need some more subscribers on the YouTube
Yeah,
page.
if you could please subscribe to our YouTube
some cool
channel.
Stuff on there.
Yeah, we do.
And we're going to be adding more of those shorts and stuff like that. We're trying to make it more interactive.
Check out our TikTok and our YouTube. Those are like our two that we really would like to boost up.
Yeah.
And keep coming to Facebook. We love you guys in Facebook and our members.
Say hi to our little puppy peeking out at the bottom down there.
Molly's under the
She's like,
table.
you can see in the video, her head's just like barely peeking out.
Well,
yeah, with that being said,
does it? Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for our previous episodes, or future episodes, I should say.
Yeah, stay tuned for our previous
Stay tuned for our once we already filmed.
Yeah, it's going to come back out.
Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. See you later.